Hello, everybody, and welcome to week number 5 of the National Auto Racing Club School of Sim Racing All-Star 410 Winged Sprint Cars. Qualifying just wrapped up. Alex Bergeron takes the quick time here. We're going to get ready for heat race number 1. I was waiting to make sure Roger concluded before I went live here. Trying to make sure we get it on all platforms. There we go. So we'll get ready for heat race number 1. Coming in a little bit late, but getting it in time for our first heat race of the night. So let's give you the grid. Starting on the front row will be your pole sitter in the 12 car. That's going to be Alex Bergeron starting second. For Team SSR Elite in School of Sim Racing from Birdsboro, Pennsylvania, the 99 of Gregory LeMay. Let me change the camera here so we can see all the cars. There we go. Row number 2. Going to be starting third, the 50 of Scott Hurwitz. Starting fourth for Elbows Up Sim Sport, Over the Wall Photography from Hanford, California, the 21 of Shea Paulo. Row number 3, starting fifth for Elbows Up Sim Sport, Wicked Energy Gum from New Paris, Ohio, the 79 of Billy Rowley. Starting sixth from Lafayette, Indiana, the 17 of Kyle Matson. Row number 4, starting seventh for Elbows Up Sim Sport, School of Sim Racing from Troy, Ohio, the 21 of Bruce Klingen. Starting eighth for U.S. Navy, Brazen Firearms from Quad City, Illinois, the 65 of Jordan Etter. And rounding it out in row number 5, starting at last on the field in the 9th position, the 51 of Robert Boggs. We're going to get rolling here for heat race number 1. We were not with the series last week when they raced at Lernerville. We will be doing every other week here for the National Auto Racing Club. It's what they agreed with us here on the Dirt Racing Network as Rogers got done with the PRO series. But we'll have these guys every other week. So we will not be here next week when they head to Williams Grove. We'll be back in 2 weeks for Eldora. So can't tell you what happened last week, but we are going to go green as we are in the turns 1 and 2, and it's Alex Bergeron on the throttle out front and already pulling a good gap over his competitors. LeMay in second, Paulo in third. There's Shea Paulo, your third place driver right now, and he would be the final transfer position, but Billy Rowley there in the 79 coming on strong. Shea Paulo still trying to hold off Rowley. Already 4 in the books here, halfway through, working on lap number 5. Alex Bergeron has checked out over Gregory LeMay. Four to go this time. Laps click off quick here at Limaland. I'm going to take a look. Have not seen 3 heat races, 2 consolations possibly, a quick warm-up session, and then the feature. Bergeron has trouble in 3 and 4. Has to come down almost at a complete 90-degree angle there in the middle of 3 and 4. Able to stay in the lead over LeMay. Rowley has got around Shea Paulo while we were watching Bergeron up front. White flag in the air. And here comes the 12 car, Alex Bergeron. He's going to come around and take heat race number 1. LeMay and Rowley going to come across in second and third. Paulo, Hurwitz, Klingen, Etter, Matson, and Boggs going to round it out here for heat race number 1. So Alex Bergeron checking the first 2 boxes on the night with the quick time and now the heat race win. See if he can go 3 for 3 with the feature win later on. We're going to get ready for heat race number 2 to come up on the racetrack. We'll give you that grid here as they come up. Starting on the front row, your pole sitter for Swindell Speed Labs from Mount Airy, North Carolina. That's the 00 of Kendall Tucker. Starting second will be for Swindell Speed Labs Esports, Fast 4 Media, and JST from Loomis, California. That's the 10 of Rusty Kruger. Row number 2. Starting third for SSR Elite from Indianapolis, Indiana, the 75 of Michael Berthay. Starting fourth, the 24 of Kyle Swatter. Row number 3, starting fifth, the 58 of Cale Heibuilt. Starting sixth, the 4 of Bob Cross. Row number 4, starting seventh, the 14 of Chris Forsyth. Starting eighth for UDSRA, High Side Fast Line and Speedway Engines from Livingston, Montana, the 56 of David Flick. And that will do it here for heat race number 2. Junior, thanks for checking in. If you are in the chat or in watching on any of our 3 streaming platforms, feel free to send us a message. Let us know who you're rooting for and where you're watching from. We'll give you a shout out here on the broadcast. We are Green Flag Racing with heat race number 2. Kendall Tucker putting that car up front, but here comes Rusty Kruger in the second position, trying to track him down. Kruger to the inside in 1 and 2. Down the backstretch we go. Berthay in the third spot, trying to hold off Swatter, and let's go back there and watch Berthay and Swatter. We saw a good battle for third and fourth. Oh, Berthay up on the wall in 3. He rode it. Now he's going to come down and make contact with Cross. Or did he make contact with Flick? Either way, both of them go to the back of the field. Cross now in the 4th spot. We're still Green Flag Racing. That gives a ton of breathing room to Swatter here in the 3rd place spot. And Kendall Tucker out front and pulling away. Mind you, if you are just watching this series for the first time, all of these guys have an iRacing rating of over 2,000. Means you have to be pretty good at what you do here on iRacing to be in this series, which means it always provides good races and a good night, especially when it comes to feature time. They put on a heck of a show. And we have coming to 2 to go here for Kendall Tucker, your race leader. Kendall Tucker, last time we were on the air with this group, was your feature winner back in week number 3. White flag in the air. Here comes Kendall Tucker, and he's going to take the win. Rusty Kruger and Kyle Swatter going to come across in 2nd and 3rd. Forsyth, Heibuilt, Cross, Flick, and Berthay going to round out the heat race. So we'll get ready for our final heat race of the night as they come up on the racetrack now. We'll give you that grid. Starting on the front row, here for heat race number 3, your pole sitter will be the 18 of Timothy Smith. Starting second from Stanley, Wisconsin will be the 3 of Jake Sonntag. Row number 2, starting third, the 8 of Daniel Ziegers. Starting fourth from Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, the 55 of Zach Miller. Row number 3, starting fifth, the 33 of Lane Stevens. Starting sixth for Team SSR, School of Sim Racing, and from Marysville, California, the 35 of Tommy Brandon. And the last row, starting 7th, the 64 of Timothy Alton. Starting 8th, the 22 of Philip Krasich. We're going to get ready to go with our final heat race. And if I am right, Daniel Ziegers, I think, just came from the PRO series over there with Roger. Jumping right in here with these National Auto Racing Club series. So he's got that 8 car traveling all over. Ready to go here in heat race number 3. Get ready to go green, and here we go. Heat race number 3 underway. Now to the early start, Timothy Smith, and it seems like if you have the pole position, you are in great hands. We got to pile up Ziegers into the wall. 3 cars up and over in the middle of turn number 3. It started with Ziegers, but we're still green. No caution on the racetrack. We're going to go back and take a look at the replay, but we're still going as Smith in the 80 car out front ahead of Lane Stevens and Jake Sonntag, your top 3. Then it's Krosic and Alton. Alton just got around Krosic for that 4th position. They're going to do battle back and forth, and let's go look at it. Top 3 pretty well set. Here's Krosic and Alton battling it out. Krosic in the 14 car, Alton in the 64. Lane Stevens all of a sudden now getting passed up, or was challenging Timothy Smith for the race lead. He's fallen off just a little bit. The top 4 have single filed out now, but it was Brandon, Ziegers, and Miller that got involved in that accident. They'll have to go to our LCQs and try to make their way through that way, as we got 4 laps left to go here in heat race number 3. It's been all Timothy Smith out front. Lane Stevens trying to hold on and keep him close. Already 3 laps left to go. Now coming to 2 to go. And could we go 3 for 3 with your pole sitters winning each heat race? Could say something when we get to feature time about who the favorite might be. White flag in the air, coming to the checkered flag. It's Timothy Smith taking the heat race win. Lane Stevens and Jake Sonntag come 2nd and 3rd. Alton, Krosic, Brandon, Ziegers, and Miller round out your heat race, and that'll move us to our C main. And here we go. We are going to have our C main, and it's going to be a small C main. We'll see why in just a second. We're going to have on your front row, and your pole sitter is going to be David Flick starting 2nd, Daniel Ziegers. Row number 2 will be Kyle Matson starting 3rd, and Michael Berthay starting 4th. And rounding out the field in row number 3, starting 5th, Tommy Brandon and Robert Boggs. 4 cars going to go to the back of the B main. 2 cars are going to have their nights ended. 10 laps to decide it. This could be exciting. We'll launch up front, see which cars get through. Going to get ready to go here with our C main. Lights out on the pace truck, this time out of turn 4. We're going to light it up. David Flick and Daniel Ziegers leading us to the green flag, and there we go. We are underway, and into the wall goes Ziegers. Ziegers having some massive trouble here tonight. Pulling double duty, not working out so well. Got into a big wreck in his heat race, and now into a wreck here. Once again, staying green. Pace truck looked like it thought about coming out, but it's David Flick, Kyle Matson, Tommy Brandon, and Robert Boggs, your top 3. That took out Michael Berthay. His night is done, so these 4 up front can kind of just cruise. We'll check on exactly where Ziegers is. I mean, he's half a corner behind Robert Boggs at the moment, so we'll see if Ziegers, even with all the damage, can drive back up here and try to contend for a position, but I think he might be out of it. To give you a perspective, there is Ziegers right there, and while we're at it, why don't we take a look, just because, why not? We're going to go here in just a second on board with Ziegers to show you where everybody else is in that 5th place position. You can see that nose wing pretty bent up from the wreck as we have 5 laps to go, coming to 4 to go. There's the front four in front of him. Matson, Brandon, Flick, and Boggs. And he's starting to close in, maybe just a little bit on Boggs here, running this top line, and he gets into the wall, spins it around. Able to catch it, though. Now 3 to go. It's going to be pretty tough for him to get up there. And he's definitely having some trouble, so we'll get off them. We'll jump back up with your race leader. Kyle Matson, who is going to see the white flag in the air this time. Tommy Brandon has caught him, but I don't think he's going to be able to make a move. As we head into 3 and 4, here comes Matson and Brandon to the checkered flag. They're going to go to the back of the B main. Flick and Boggs going to go with them. Zegers and Birthday are going to have their nights done. That will set up our B main coming onto the racetrack. We'll give you the grid for the B main as well. Your front row. Starting on the pole position will be Scott Hurwitz. Starting second, Cale Highbuilt. Row number 2, starting third, Philip Crossich. Starting fourth, Bruce Klingen. Row number 3, starting fifth, Bob Cross. Starting sixth, Zach Miller. Row number 4, starting seventh, Jordan Eder. Starting eighth, Kyle Matson. Row number 5, starting ninth, Tommy Brandon. Starting 10th, David Flick. And rounding out the field in 11th, Robert Boggs. And we're going to get ready to roll here with our B main as well. As I mentioned earlier, do not be afraid to send a message into the chat. Let us know who you're rooting for, or maybe where you're watching from, or anything else you want to send our way. We'll give you a shout out, tell you what's going on. And ready to go here with our B main. Green flag in the air, 12 laps. We usually take a pretty significant chunk, at least 7 or 8, possibly more, to the feature. So it's going to be quite a few transferring here. To be safe, we have taken at least 7 or 8. So that's where we're going to focus on here. We took the top 4 from each heat race. That would give us 12. So that would be 8, so we'll keep an eye on that 8th place position right now. Scott Hurwitz out front. Philip Crossich in second, Cale Highbuilt in third, Bruce Klingen fourth, Bob Cross fifth, Tommy Brandon sixth, Jordan Eder and Zach Miller in 7th and 8th, and we'll watch them do battle back here. Right behind them is David Flick, Kyle Matson, and Robert Boggs. It's going to be interesting. Once again, Scott Hurwitz started on the pole. And he is out front once again. We are already halfway through our B main. And here he comes, Philip Crossich to the top side. Trying to run that cushion up there to the line. This time, will he be able to get the 50 of Hurwitz? Yes, he will. His new race leader, Philip Crossich, out front with 4 to go. And interesting because we haven't seen anybody be able to pass the pole sitter for any of the heat races or the C main. And now Crossich able to get it done here in the B main. Flick able to get around Matson for that 8th place spot as we got 2 to go. And Crossich has checked out. Let's keep an eye on David Flick here in that final spot. We come to the white flag. Boggs and Matson right there behind him. White flag in the air, coming to take the win here in the B main is Krosic, Hurwitz, Klingen, Heibelt, Brandon, Miller, and Eder. Flick will say is safe as well. Matson, Boggs, and Cross. We'll have to see how many we're taking to see if their nights are done or if they're going to advance as well. I'm expecting at least 2 of them to be done for the night. They're going to go to a quick warm-up session, so while we do that, we're going to take a break to thank a couple of our sponsors. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Limaland. Not one car has gone out for a practice session, which means I'm guessing we're probably going to advance here real quickly. But while we have the time, what if I can tell you that you can take your dirt sim racing to the next level by joining the best sim racing community online today? At the School of Sim Racing, you can learn to drive and set up your car like a pro. With a ton of free trainings and free setups for sprint cars, late models, midgets, and more. It's the perfect place to get your dirt sim racing on the right track. Visit schoolofsimracing.net to learn more today. And as I predicted, we are going to advance right to the feature. We are cruising along. I didn't want to say it. I'm sorry. Take it back. Don't want to get ahead of myself here. Still got the feature to go. 30 laps here for our feature. We're going to get the grid out here for you. Starting on the pole position here for the feature will be Alex Bergeron starting second, Kendall Tucker. Row number 2 starting third, Timothy Smith. Starting fourth, Gregory LeMay. Row number 3 starting fifth, Rusty Kruger. Starting sixth, Lane Stevens. Row number 4 starting seventh, Billy Rowley. Starting eighth, Kyle Swatter. Row number 5 starting ninth, Jake Sonatag. Starting 10th, Shea Paulo. Row number 6 starting 11th, Chris Forsyth. Starting 12th, Timothy Alton. Row number 7 starting 13th, Philip Krosic. Starting 14th, Scott Hurwitz. Row number 8 starting 15th, Bruce Klingen. Starting 16th, Cale Heibelt. Waiting, think about it. There it is. Row number 9 starting 17th, Tommy Brandon. Starting 18th, Zach Miller. Row number 10 starting 19th, Jordan Eder, and starting 20th, David Flick. Look at that. Got it right. 8 cars transferring here from the B main to the back of the C main. And here we go. Getting ready to go with our feature. It's going to be the 2 fastest I've seen all night. Alex Bergeron and Kendall Tucker up front. 2 heat race winners. Your 3rd heat race winner right there as well. The 850 of Timothy Smith. And get ready to go. Bergeron, Tucker. Going to lead us to the green flag, and we are underway here in week number 5. Feature is green, and it's a Bergeron and Tucker going to lead us through 1 and 2, and we'll come back around. Who's going to have the lead at the line? Tucker off the top side. Kendall Tucker, your race leader over Alex Bergeron. Here comes LeMay for the 3rd spot over Smith. This could get interesting. Like we said, all of these guys all have a iRacing rating of over 2,000. A lot of professionals here in the server. Kruger in 4th, Smith rounds out your top 5, Lane Stevens in 6th, Swatter in 7th, Rowley in 8th, Apollo 9th, and Sonatag in 10th. Kendall Tucker, we've seen these two. If you tune in to the Dirt Slingers 410 Wicked Energy Gum series on Thursday nights, we've seen these two do battle multiple times in our series, Kendall Tucker and Alex Bergeron. And in that series, Kendall Tucker has got taken to the woodshed a couple times by Alex Bergeron. A couple good battles, but has not been able to outlast Bergeron. We will see if Tucker can do it here tonight. See if Lammy can hold on for the 3rd place position over Rusty Kruger. Smith hanging on there right behind Kruger for that 4th place spot. Here we go. It's going to get interesting. They have encountered lappers here. Kendall Tucker, Alex Bergeron, just 10 laps in. Tucker into the wall. He got contact from Eder, and that's going to bring out a caution. I don't know if that's exactly what brought out a caution, or maybe David Flicks 10 laps down. Zach Miller having some issues. This will be our first replay of the night. Let's go look at Zach Miller in the 55 car. This is right when we started to get into, or Miller in the 38. This is right when we started to get into lappers, and the only thing I can think is Kendall Tucker getting interfered with there with Jordan Eder as he tried to go around him. I don't know if that was some net code or they actually made contact or what the case was. But either way, having some trouble. Car is trying to catch up, and we have our first caution of the night. Kendall Tucker will be able to reclaim the lead here. Bergeron in 2nd, and the only thing I can think about why the caution flag flew there, so that way Kendall Tucker didn't get severely punished for running into the Jordan Eder there as they encountered lap traffic. Green flag back in the air. Here we go once again. We make our way through. We'll see another 10 laps. They could be right back in the same situation. We'll have to watch. It's still Tucker, Bergeron, LeMay, Kruger, Smith, Stevens, Swatter, Alton, Krosic, and Sontag, your top 10. Kendall Tucker out front, taps the wall there a little bit, was pulling away. And I was just about to say, it was pulling away in a big way from Alex Bergeron, but not the case anymore. Bergeron closes in, now really closing in on the push bar of that 00 car. And Bergeron is there. He gives him a little love nudge. Telling him, hey, buddy, I'm here once again. We got our 2nd caution of the night. Shea Paulo, possibly. Paulo on pit road. Let's see why he decided to go down pit road. Running the high line here. He's got to be involved in something here. Oh, taps the wall, rides the wall, and then looks like Eder might have got a little piece of him as well as he went by. That's going to probably end the night there for the 21. We'll jump back up with your race leader. So Tucker might have been bailed out by that caution because Bergeron was coming. I was going to say, it seems like most of the time Tucker starts out strong, Bergeron closes strong. So we've hit the halfway point here. And it could get interesting here down the stretch for these final 15 laps we're about to see. We're already set to go green once again, and here we go. Green flying back in the air. Bergeron and Tucker leading us through 1 and 2 once again. We'll keep an eye on these two. See what happens. Big question is, LeMay under pressure from Stevens and Kruger. Can he hold on to a podium position? Keep an eye on LeMay while also keeping an eye on those two up front. We got another caution on the racetrack. Looks like Klingon and Forsyth possibly. Klingon gets it sideways, coming out of 4 into 1 and 2. Turns it, gets a little loose. There's some contact. Forsyth gets a touch. There comes Eder in the mix as well. Eder's just been in the wrong place at the wrong time tonight. Last 2 cautions he's been involved in, just been the lone casualty, strolling through at the end of it. I was all excited because we went the first 10 laps completely green, had a good night, and then now they say cautions breed more cautions. Well, that's what we've got to at this point now. We went 10 laps, 5 laps, and now 3 laps in between cautions. Hopefully we can go green once again. Luckily, caution laps don't last long here at Limaland. Green flag back in the air. Here we go once again. Kendall Tucker hold off the 12 of Bergeron, and here comes Bergeron with a slider. Crossover move by Tucker down the backstretch. And Kendall Tucker back out to the race lead as we got 11 laps left to go. Like we said, LeMay going to feel the most pressure back here in the 3rd spot as we've got 10 to go. Trying to hold on to the podium position. Tucker into the wall. Gets loose, has to gather it through the middle of 3 and 4. That lets Bergeron close in a little bit, but now it seems like he's able to pull away. We got another caution. Forsyth possibly? No, Forsyth's on pit road. Timothy Smith? Yeah, he's turned around. That was one of your top 5 cars. Right here. Running with Kruger right behind LeMay. Coming into the corner in 3 and 4. Clean there. Coming out, clipped the wall, and then Kruger just had nowhere to go running the same line. And he gets clipped there by Alton as well, and that brings out our 4th caution of the night. So we made it 4 laps that time before we had another caution flag. Here we go, getting ready to go green once again. Base struck down and away. Kendall Tucker going to lead us to the green flag. Alex Bergeron hanging with him on the restart as we come around to complete the first lap back under green. We're going to have 7 to go. Once again, LeMay now going to have to hold off Rusty Kruger for that 3rd spot. Bergeron sparks coming from the 12 cars. He clipped the wall there and then gets loose out of 2. That's going to give Tucker an extra half a second of breathing room as they come to the line. He's able to pull away a little bit as we got 4 to go. LeMay holding off Kruger. Keep kind of jump back and forth between these 2 battles as we've got 3 to go now. Into 3 and 4. Bergeron's hanging in there. I'd expect in about another lap for him to try a big slider if he can draw, especially a little bit closer, and he does out of 2. He draws up on the back of Kendall. Tucker coming through 3 and 4. There is a lapper up ahead of him. Tucker gets loose off the wall. They make contact. Bergeron to the inside. Can Tucker mount a challenge to the inside? Down the backstretch they go to the white flag. They're beating and banging on each other. Bergeron into the wall. Can he get it refired? Kendall Tucker is going to take the win, and Bergeron is going to come up short. Can't get that car refired. He's going to have a massive fall here in the standings. Gregory LeMay going to come across in second, and Rusty Kruger rounds out your podium. Bergeron will end up coming across last of the cars still on the lead lap in the 16th position. Heartbreak there for Alex Bergeron. We do have your 3 up here on the front stretch. And we'll see if we can grab these guys up here in the booth and talk to them for a minute. Starting with your 3rd place finisher, Rusty Kruger, who ends up kind of by a miracle here on the podium. We'll see if we can grab these guys. I'm not seeing them. See, oh, there's Kruger. There's Rusty. Rusty, you got a copy.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. It was quite the miracle here tonight to kind of get up on the podium. Little incident there with your leaders up front, and all of a sudden you come to the line and you're finished in 3rd. What did you see from your vantage point and just overall on the night?
I figure it'd be a little better to be lucky than good this time around. I mean, Limaland's not really my strongest track here, so it was a good points night for us. But I feel like I didn't really deserve 3rd there. I kind of killed Tim there on accident. He got the wall, and I just had nowhere to go. But it's part of racing, I guess.
You mentioned it. Sometimes lucky better than good, and especially when you just got to be running up there as you were. Things break your way, and you end up here with a podium. Who would you like to thank for your finish here tonight?
I just gotta thank the boys over at Speed Lab and Slick once again. They build the setups. I try to drive the car, and sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, I thank Jake Swanson's Shock Technology for the virtual CSIs. They keep me going every week, and then Fast for Me and Viral Moto.
All right, that's your 3rd place finisher here tonight, Rusty Kruger. We'll get your 2nd place finisher up here in the booth as well. In just a second, we'll switch this over and get Greg up here in the booth with us. Greg, you got a copy?
I got you down.
All right, man. It seemed like it was kind of 2 different races going on there. Bergeron and Tucker kind of checked out from the beginning, and you had your own race going back there trying to hold on to the podium position. What was it like trying to hold those guys off behind you, and then in the end, you end up actually finishing in 2nd?
Yeah, the crazy ending there. I didn't quite see what happened, but I'm sure that the guy you'll talk to next will give you his perspective. But it was tough. I mean, Tim and Rusty are great drivers, so it's always good to battle with those guys. But still working on that little bit of speed to catch Kendall and Bergeron. Those guys are still in another level than where I'm at yet. So I keep putting in the work to try to get up there and battle with them too.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. What do you think that you need to really work on to try to catch those two? Is it setup or just lines or all of it or?
I mean, I'm always trying to tinker with my setups and make them better, but I mean, it just comes down to me being a better driver. I mean, those guys hit their lines perfect every lap, and I, I don't. I mean, the experience, practice, just repetition, just get racing and doing it over and over again just has its benefits. So I'm gonna keep putting in the work and come a long way in a short period of time. Thanks to a lot of people, but it's still got a lot of work to go.
All right, who would you like to thank for your 2nd place finish tonight?
I mean, I always want to thank Tommy Brandon at School of Sim Racing. I mean, this is their league here, the National Auto Racing Club. But if you have anything you need as far as dirt, training, setups, things like that, I mean, Tommy does a phenomenal job. He's worked with me since the beginning. The Elbows Up team. which includes a ton of sponsors. I'm still learning the entire list, but Jessup's Logistics, Flow Racing, Roof Coat, Over the Wall Photography, Her Got Real Estate, and there's a bunch more that I'm still trying to memorize. But all the guys over at Elbows Up that have helped me out and able to let us do this every night.
All right. Well, that's your second place finisher here tonight, Greg LeMay. Congrats to Greg, and we'll get our winner up here in the booth, Kendall Tucker. We'll grab him and bring him in. Kendall, you there?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Probably not the exact way you wanted to finish this thing, other than you're on the top step of the podium. Things got a little hectic there at the end. Gonna probably say that it was down to just a racing incident. Was that what you saw from your perspective too?
Oh, I mean, I had damage getting into that lap car. Just had front end damage and just entered in the slick. And I mean, I'd be more than happy to pull it up on the replay. Was on the brakes and was locked left, and the car just wouldn't stop and just got into him. I hate that happened, but it's just part of it. I just was hanging on, for dear life for pretty much that whole race after the contact with that lap car, and was luckily able to hold him off as long as we did, and just that was the first lap. We didn't run the top, we got into three, and I it was very broke for sure. So hate that happened to him, but that's just racing. But other than that, the car was really fast. Hey, we got that damage, or else I think we probably could have checked out from him there. We held him off, pretty much that whole time until the last little bit. I think he pulled that wing back and started ripping the lip, and then he rode us in. But definitely, I think the damage hurt us a lot. But it feels good to bring home the win anyway. Anyways.
Yeah, you mentioned a perspective I didn't really think about, especially with the damage portion of it, but you caught a little bit of a break there when you got into lappers because the caution did come out. Didn't really affect your position, but as you mentioned, affect your race car. Were you happy that, in a way, were you happy that the caution came out because now you didn't have to deal with lappers again?
I would have rather it stayed green and in traffic because probably wouldn't have got the damage. So that's just the way it goes. That's racing. Just maybe should have picked another lane choice. I'm not sure if y'all were on me or not, but the guy who was just entering in on the top in front of me just missed it, and he about half spun, and I just had nowhere to go and just got into the back of him and then hit the wall too. So I just honestly killed the car after that. It never drove the same even under pace laps. It was pretty tough to drive. So I don't know, just like I said, hey, we got the damage, but we brought home the win anyways.
Yeah, we were actually on you when that all happened. It seemed, I guess, damage again plays a factor, but we've seen you guys. I mean, especially over at DSRL, you and Bergeron go at it multiple times, and it seemed like he was running you down there at the end. So, was it in a way almost beneficial? Even though I know restarts are always a pain, was it beneficial that we had a couple cautions there to break it up so we weren't in a long green flag run at the end?
I mean, either way, it would have been tough. Them restarts, I probably wouldn't have honestly wanted to see him because he could get that straightaway moisture into one and slide me because he done it one time, and that's just a really good restart tactic here. I do it a lot if I'm ever second or third because most of the time you're carrying so much more speed than them guys in the slick down the straightaways that you can just clear them both. So I don't know. Just to answer your question, probably would have rather just stayed green and took my chances there. Once I was able to get into a rhythm, it wasn't that bad to drive. But then last I don't know, last 2 or 3 laps, I guess it was probably a little bit of the car going away on my part and him reeling me in, ripping the fence. But just hate it ended like that. But I don't know. Just luckily there was no money on the line tonight. Just come here and have a little fun. But we'll try again next time, and hopefully we can win again.
Well, as you said, that's how it's going to finish. You finish on the top step of the podium here tonight. We weren't here last week, but the last time we did cover you guys here in this series, you won. So back to back here now on the Dirt Racing Network when we've been covering these series. How does it feel to get another win here tonight?
It feels good for sure. Anytime you can get a win's pretty cool deal. So I just ain't been racing much here lately, and one of the races I was supposed to run tonight got canceled. So just saw this was happening, and I ain't raced since DSRL on Thursday, so I was getting a little rusty. So I just needed to hop on here and run a race.
All right. Well, I've put you through the ringer with questions. We'll wrap it up with one last one. Who would you like to thank for your win here tonight?
Yeah, just all my guys at Swindell Speed Lab and Slick Sim Sport for all the help, and K1 Race Gear, Bay Archery, ML Performance, and thanks to Tommy and all the guys for the league, and thanks to you guys for the broadcast.
All right, that's your race winner here tonight, coming across in the top spot in week number 5 from Limaland, Kendall Tucker. We'll give you the results one final time here. As we mentioned, our top 3 already, Kendall Tucker, Gregory LeMay, and Rusty Kruger. Coming across in 4th, Lane Stevens, and rounding out your top 5, Philip Krosich, 6th, Kyle Swatter, 7th, Timothy Alton, 8th, Zach Miller, 9th, Jacob Sontag, 10th, Cale Heibilt, 11th, Billy Rowley, 12th, Scott Hurwit, 13th, Tommy Brandon, 14th, Jordan Etter, 15th, Chris Forsyth, 16th, Alex Bergeron, 17th, Bruce Klingen, 4 laps down, 18th, Timothy Smith, 9 laps down, 19th, Jay Paulo, 17 laps down, and 20th, David Flick, 31 laps down. That's going to wrap it up here for the National Auto Racing Club School of Sim Racing All-Star 410 Winged Sprint Cars from Limaland, week number 5, now in the books. As we mentioned, we will not be back with these guys next week. We'll be back in 2 weeks on February 16th at Eldora, right here at 10 Eastern. We will have a triple feature tomorrow night with our kicked off at 8 Eastern with our Dirt Slingers Racing League Wednesday Night Warrior Series. I believe we're with the UMPs this week. Then Roger will have the National Auto Racing Club School of Sim Racing Group for the big blocks at 9:30. I'll be doing the same broadcast, or same time broadcast at 9:30 with the Dirt Kings big block UMP modifieds, correction. And then Thursday, we wrap it up for the week with the Dirt Slingers Racing League 410 Wicked Energy Gum Outlaw Series at 8 Eastern. That wraps up the week. And then we start it over again next Sunday. And I think the only race on Sunday we're actually going to have will be my Dirt Kings at 9 p.m. because Roger is going to be out of town for the week. So thanks to everyone that tuned in tonight, checked out this National Auto Racing Club series. It was a good race. Came a little hectic at the end, but either way, racing is racing, and everyone lives for another day. For all the sponsors here at the Dirt Racing Network, thank you. Thank you to all the racers coming in and everyone watching online. Hope you enjoyed the show. For Roger Wagner, I'm Dom Santina. Hope everyone has a good night. Stay safe, and I hope to see you tomorrow night right back here on the Dirt Racing Network. Good night, everyone.